Hello, everyone. Good evening in Europe and good afternoon in Brazil. Beata is here today with us. It was difficult to book her. Such a busy girl, working so hard. I think she's traveling harder. But it's
Yeah,
still, she's busy. And she took the time to spend 1 hour with us here. Very, very thankful, very happy. We met each other I think, more than 20 years ago, working on the cruise ships. And it was such good times. And we had a really good relationship. I mean, we didn't do the same job. She's going to tell you guys more about her job later on. But it's still those good times. We're young and your feet full of energy. It's not even on now, but it's different times. Anyhow, I'm gonna let Beata introduce herself and tell you guys more about her. Welcome here. Please go
thank,
ahead and tell us.
thank you so much, Simon, and thank you so much for the invite. And apologies that I couldn't make it sooner, but I'm here eventually, finally. Lovely to meet you all. So my name is Beata. I am Hungarian, and I was born in Budapest. And until I was 21 years old, I lived there. I learned the language and I learned a little bit of English. With that tiny bit of English, and as Evelyn said previously, with a tiny bit of fake CV, I managed to get onto a cruise ship, which was at that time just before Christmas. So my family wasn't too happy about it, but I was super excited. I do remember it's called Crystal Harmony, and I do remember I joined the ship in New Orleans. Um, I did not have any specific background, but I went through all the process of interviews and everything. So the only thing I could do at that time is my sister Aniko. I don't know if anyone have you have met her previously, but she was working in a hotel, and I asked her to ask her director if I could join in to clean rooms for 2 weeks, and that was my experience to get onto the cruise ship. So with that tiny bit of a knowledge, I ended up in New Orleans and joined this massive ship, which was, in my eyes, massive. But right now, I could tell you it wasn't the biggest ship I've ever seen. So it's just so weird how perspective changes depends on what you compare it with. Um, and when I joined, I was really not good with English. Um, I thought I was really okay because I had an exam in Hungary that gave me a level qualification. But when I got to the ship, I realized that learning something is not the same as talking to someone. So straight away, I could realize that, okay, just because I know the grammar and just because I can write sentences and talk and write scenarios is definitely not the same. So I was super, super shy, but luckily I had a Hungarian housekeeping manager who put her arms around me and started to teach me. And of course, because of my personality, I was really on to start to get to know people. And my very first roommate, because I don't know how many of you know cruise ships, but you share your cabin with someone. You are not there alone. If you're lucky, you only share it with one person. If you're not that lucky, you share it with another three. So luckily, I had only one person from Germany. I still remember her name. Her name was Maya. And she was really good conversational in English. So I learned a lot from her. And then I started to open up. At the age of 21, I was just a girl. But as I was going through the cruise ship and as I was going through the hurdles, I started to get to understand who I am, what I'm capable of. So I feel that when you are on a cruise ship, then that's when you really understand who you are, and your strengths, your weaknesses. And basically, there's no mommy and daddy there. There's nobody there to help you. You're absolutely alone. And the only person you can count on is yourself. Although you have, well, later on, I had my sister on. I brought her onto the harmony to work with me. But I felt that we were still far away from each other. And even though she was there, we were not really close. I had my own people to mingle with. She had her own. And I feel that in a cruise ship, you create a community of your own that you feel happy with, that you feel like they are your family, because you miss your family a lot when you are there. But it is so much fun. And I know that at that time, Crystal was super, super proud of having loads of European crew. So 80% of the cabin cleaners were Swedish. And it was just very, very interesting to get to know them and why they are there. So basically that was their summer job. And they went there, they traveled, they get drunk very often, and they just had a great time for 6 months. For me, that was a bit more than that. That was my job, and that was what I wanted to do, purely financial reasons, and because I love to travel. So when you work on a cruise ship, I don't know, anyone has a question about it yet, or shall I carry on?
Yeah, I see Carlos. He has his. He wants to ask a question. I don't know if it's going to be about the cruise ship, but anyhow, that was a very nice introduction already. So let's see. Carlos, welcome.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. And hello, Beata. Oh,
Hi, Carlos.
Beata is an Italian name. And I love your accent, the British accent. Is the real English, okay, Vanderlei?
Thank you. I picked it up. Yes.
Mm, okay, okay. Let me know why your name is Beata. Do you have some Italian origin or no?
Yes, my great grandfather was Italian. So even my surname is Berenci. So that is also sounds very Italian. So yes, I do have some Italian blood in me. And I love everything
Oh.
about Italy. So yes.
Oh, God. Me too, me too. This is the reason you are very beautiful.
All
Must be
Italians are, right, Carlos?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
lovely.
I really didn't know that Beata was an Italian name. Really?
Yeah. It's actually, it comes from the word beatified.
Oh,
Beatified is someone,
Benedetta, Benedetta.
yes,
Oh,
who
blessed,
is
blessed. I don't know.
blessed, yes,
Uh,
blessed, or someone who's done a lot of good deeds on earth, and then before of when they die, and before they would become a saint, that's the one before.
yeah,
A
yeah.
level before. So somebody's beatified means that this person is blessed and has done a lot of good things for the people on earth while this person was still alive. Yeah.
okay, okay. Thank you, Beata.
Thank you, Carlos.
All right, Wanderlei.
Like Carlos said, I love your accent. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Thank you.
It's British. It's so refreshing, different. So okay. So my question for you, as being someone from Hungary who has traveled to another country, like myself, I came from the United States to Brazil. Um, what are your impressions? What are your what is different about England from where you're from? Tell us about England.
Ooh, it's a very good question. Very different. So When you say I traveled a lot, and thank you about my accent, if I tell you why I have this accent, I'm not sure you're going to like me that much, but I'm going to try anyway. So on the cruise ship, when I went and worked there, people started to ask me which state I'm from, because I had American accent. So I have the accent of the people where I live and the surrounding. So I picked that up very quickly. So basically, I had the American accent and I said, no, thank you. I love you people, but I really want to have a proper English accent. So I started to watch BBC and I started to listen to how the British people talk. And that's why it started to change, basically. And also, some of you who are from South Africa might hear a bit of a South African twang. And that is because I lived in South Africa for 7 years. I lived in Cape Town. Yeah, that is why I've got that accent, although I don't hear it, but apparently I do have it. And I'm super proud of it because I think South African people are absolutely amazing. But back to England. So in 2014, when I came off the ship, I thought, okay, what am I going to do with myself? I've been living away from my family for so long. I don't want to be far away from them, but I don't want to stay in Hungary either. So I thought, okay, I speak the language. So on Crystal, I was cleaning cabins, but when I went, and then I fell in love with a South African guy who I followed to South Africa in 2004 and lived there for 7 years. And after that, I decided, okay, I want to go back to the ships because we broke up. And I went back to work on Carnival cruises as a luxury shopping expert. So my job was to ensure that those guests who are on board know about the best ports and the best shopping area in a port. So they had to follow me ashore to the diamond stores and make sure that they spend as much money in those stores as possible. My basic salary was $235 a month. Everything else was commission. So I had to work really hard. I had my own shopping TV channel on the ship. I had a 1-hour shopping show where I had to be on the stage in front of 300, 400 people, talk about diamonds, jewelry, watches, everything. And so basically that gave me the knowledge that I used then in England. And I applied for a jewelry sales position with a British jewelry designer called Anushka. And I worked in one of the poshest area of London called Chelsea. And that's where I started my career. And at that time, I've traveled around the world with the cruise ships. I've been to South Africa. I've been almost every continent at that time. But I found that England was so welcoming. It's such a metropolitan country, especially London is a city where you cannot feel that you are foreign. It's literally every single nation can be found here. So when I got here, I was working with a Kazakhstani girl, an Iranian girl, someone from Ukraine, Italian. He was my manager, Massimo. And yeah, so straight away, I jumped into a very international store with very international people. So that's how it started. And of course, London is super busy and it's exciting and it's buzzing. So it suited my style after coming off the ship. And I really enjoyed that environment. But then sooner or later, I had to realize that it's a constantly just working. You don't stop. I did not have the work-life balance. Yeah. And it's most likely because it was retail, and in retail, you don't really have that. So although I have met loads of people, the big difference for me was in London, you cannot afford to rent your own property. You have to live with a house share. So you rent a room basically with 6 to 10 people. And I had to quickly learn a different way of living together with people. On the cruise ship, you have a roommate, but here that was your home, and it was the kitchen you had to share, the bathroom you had to share, the garden you had to share if you were lucky to have a garden, and it was just a different lifestyle altogether. However, when I had a bit of a time, I could go out to the most amazing places like Hyde Park or Oxford Street or Marylebone or any of those places that everybody hears about, had a picnic by the Thames River, or go to Greenwich and just enjoy the view to the city. So it's a lot of things that are really beautiful. However, there is one thing, one delay that is really not good, and that's the food.
I know. I was told by my I have a student in Brazil, and he said the food is not good.
Nah.
Compared to Brazil.
Compared to anything.
Okay. I have one more quick question. Did you say you were in Louisiana, the United States? Louisiana.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Okay.
No, sorry. I wasn't.
Okay.
Hold on. New Orleans is not in Louisiana.
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, yes. Then yes. Sorry. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Tell these people about Louisiana. Man, this place, Louisiana, is in America, but it's not American. It's everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. I was there during the Mardi Gras. So I had the
Mardi Gras.
Yeah. So I had the joy to experience that. That was one of the craziest parties I've ever been. I've been to the carnival in Rio, so that was another different experience. So all these ones are like, oh my God, this is so cool. And yeah, it's surreal when I think back that I was there on the street of New Orleans during the Mardi Gras, and just that fun and joy. It was incredible. Yeah.
All right, thanks. Efren, please.
Okay, so Beata, you have a very interesting life, so that's so nice. And I like that you are a very international person too. And you know, we used to call English people, when I used to work in the dining room in Splendor of the Seas, we used to call them lovelies, because you know, because they always say lovely for everything. You know? And they used to tip very bad, because in England I think there's queer, like it is also like prepaid tip, I think, in England, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
So
Yes, so it's definitely, you're right. First of all, yes, they say lovely a lot. They are super polite, and I think sometimes too polite for my European style. You know, we like to be direct, tell you how it is. But the Brits, they, as they say it, polish the turd, which means make shiny things out of shit. Sorry for my language, but that's what's basically it. And you have to really embrace how they converse with each other with this very polite, very diplomatic way. So lovely is, I can imagine, yes, lovely is. Yeah, so it's an incredibly different life. Yeah.
and I would like to ask you one thing. So you have been to almost all itineraries. I think you worked like 12 years or 13 years in cruise ships, right? In total?
8 in total.
8 years. So you have been to everywhere, I think, more or
Yes.
less. So which itinerary was your favorite? Because I worked in Mediterranean and Brazil and transatlantic.
Yes.
I loved all of them. But my friends from who worked in Caribbean,
Yeah.
they said they were a little bit bored because it's only white beaches, like white sand, and that's it, nothing else.
Awful, isn't it? White sandy beaches, turquoise water, palm trees, 30 degrees. Awful, yes.
Yeah. So which one was your favorite itinerary?
So yes, I have been around the world, and I've seen really amazing places. So literally, I've been around South America, all the way around, and I loved being in Brazil. I remember being on the Amazon. We went caiman hunting on Manaus. And that was something really weird and interesting experience. I was also in Buenos Aires, watching people dancing on the street. It was stunning. I was in India, and that was a very different experience. And I was in Alaska. Alaska was something that I would highly recommend to anyone who loves snow, who loves crisp air, who loves that raw American feel that you see in the movies. It's stunning. However, my absolute favorite was French Polynesia and New Zealand. That area from Hawaii, we came down to French Polynesia, to New Zealand, and that world is just magnificent. Every day is a different scene. Every day is a different view. You opened your door and you could see something completely foreign and stunning. So for me, that was the most memorable. Loads of lush green mountains, waterfalls from I don't know how high, and just that beautiful scenery and the nature, and that it holds you, it embraces you while you are cruising through it. Absolutely stunning. My favorite place, definitely.
So New Zealand is a little bit different than Australia, I think. I have been to Australia, but people told me the same as you. Like New Zealand is naturally very beautiful, right?
Absolutely. You cannot compare the two. I've been to Australia as well with the ship, but New Zealand is like Hawaii. I don't know if you've been to Hawaii or you've seen movies of Hawaii. New Zealand is like that, but imagine like very the Maoris and the Samoans and the Fijians, they are still one with nature. And that is what I miss so much from today's life, going back to the roots and being one with the nature.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Beata, I'm so glad you said that because I was with you on the cruise. And when you told everyone that you've done that for 8 years, I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I miss? What did I miss? What she's going to say? I'm going to get jealous. What she's going to say that was the best. And I was there with you with the best. Oh my gosh. It's true. That's so amazing. That experience, unforgettable. But it's not about me. João is here with another question. João, please.
Hey, thank you. Bianca, actually, it's really insightful. But something I want to know is how challenging it is to work in a multicultural environment. So I'm asking in terms of soft skills and hard skills, behavioral, where you have to share stuff with different people that you never met before. So how is it? Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, thank you for the question. It's a really, really good question. It's not for everyone. You really have to love people and embrace their differences and wanting to learn more about them. if you are a very proud person who is proud of your habits, your language, your customs, then working together with different people is not for you. However, I feel that, and I can see that all of you are really much in the same shoes as I am. We love to meet other people, we love to learn about their culture and understand the differences that we have. Skin color, religion, food, music, everything is very different from where we come from. And if I feel that from a soft skills perspective, you have to be curious, you have to be understanding, and you have to be accepting what the other people are. So there is no space for religious differences, political differences. There is no xenophobia or anything at all when you are working together with different people. It has to be one human race, and that's what whoever works in, for example, here in London, you cannot be racist, you cannot be anything that would affect other people. You have to love people and want to get to know them and understand who they are and why they are like that.
Very good. Impressive. Impressive. And the second question is about the food. You said previously that you didn't like food at all. But is that in kind of standard catering service? Because I've been in a multicultural sector also in the company where I was working with a lot of different nations. But we had the set of like African food, Asian food, because Asian food is kind of spicy sometimes. Because so I want to know really if was that standard catering service the only variety?
So in England, you mean?
No, cruise ship, right? You said in cruise ship.
On the cruise ship, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So on the cruise ship, what people
Okay,
have,
Beata, sorry, just to make sure, because he's from Angola,
yeah.
mother tongue Portuguese. João, the food that she was complaining about is in London, is in her life in England. On the cruise ship, she's gonna tell you now how it's all about. Please,
Ah, good.
Beata.
Good.
Thanks for that, Simone.
All right.
So yeah, two categories. I will tell you about the food in England after that, but the food on a cruise ship. So a big difference, crew has got a completely different food than guests. Yeah. So what we have is basically, if you think about it, there is a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. So when we leave a port, everything gets delivered onto the cruise ship, frozen. So when you have all those vegetables and fruit, it doesn't taste like nice vegetables and fruit. And I'm sure Simone agrees with me. If you are there for a week, you would say, oh, this is exciting food, because there were Filipinos working with us as well, loads of Filipino food. There was some Asian food, and there was some European food there as well. So it was a bit of a mix, but it was constantly the same all the time. Now, luckily, we had some themed night where we had lovely Italian food, or we had some I don't even know, Swedish food, for example. So they try to mix it up, but it was very rare that we had those theme nights when everyone got together and we could dress as a I don't know, we had an Egyptian night. I don't know, Simone, if you were there, but we could dress in Egyptian outfit if you bought one when you were ashore. So when we're talking about the food on the cruise ship, it's after a while is really boring. For 6 months, constantly have that same kind of food is like, come on, people. So if you knew someone from the dining room, they could sneak in a couple of bites for you. Or when I was working as a housekeeper cleaning cabins, we did room service as well. So sometimes what I did, if we had an empty cabin, then I ordered the food onto the empty cabin, gone in there, ate it, and then gone back to work.
Oh,
Little secrets.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah. So it's really fun, because I do remember that we were at Milford Sound in New Zealand, and I know that I was on room service duty, and I'm like, I can't believe that I can't see this amazing waterfall. And so basically I was like, okay, I'm gonna order some food out on the balcony and I'm gonna watch Milford Sound and the beautiful waterfall. So that's what I did. And if my beeper was going off that somebody really wanted food, I just ignored it for a couple of minutes.
oh,
I see.
great.
I see.
Amazing.
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Okay, now tell him about the foods in London.
Okay, so British people are super proud of their food, which consists of fish and chips and curry. Yeah. So they say fish and chips is British, and of course it is not, but they are super proud of it. Everywhere they go, there has to be fish and chips. And the chips has to have vinegar first and then the salt. You cannot put it the other way around, because then the salt will not stick, or it's going to be washed off by the vinegar. So they're very particular about how they want their fish and chips. The other thing is the curry. Obviously, in the past, they conquered India and they brought people to England to work for jobs that the British people didn't want to work. And they brought their spices in and their culture and their food. But then they did not have enough of those spices in England that they could use. So they changed a little bit to suit to the British spices that they had here. So that curry that the British are eating, you're never going to find in an Indian restaurant in India, because it's completely different. So they're very, very proud of that. And the Sunday roast, which is basically steamed vegetables and a slice of beef or slice of chicken and a gravy. Now, gravy, I don't know if everyone is familiar with. It's a brown sauce that they put on everything, and that's how they make it delicious, because otherwise it doesn't taste like anything. So this is what they are super proud of. And I think, oh, and they have something that's called Yorkshire pudding. And you would think it's a dessert. Yeah, it's not. It's basically a fluffy pastry that you get on the plate. You put the vegetables in there and you put a lot of gravy on it, and that's how you eat it. It's awful, I think, but they love it and they're super proud of it.
What about shepherd's pie?
You know what? They don't have it.
No?
Shepherd's pie is something that I thought was very British. You don't see that anywhere in the restaurant. I've not seen it once. No. But pie in general, they love, but it's more like a Starbucks type of food. So you go into a store called Greg's, and that's where you're going to have your pie, which is in a phyllo pastry, and it's stuffed with steak and kidney or chicken and mushroom or leek or whatever it is. And that's the pie that they have. But shepherd's pie, which I absolutely love, and I usually make it here at home, it's not on the British menu, I'm afraid.
All right. I think Joelle, I think she answered your questions, right?
Sure.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you,
Okay.
Bianca.
Ira is back with another question. I still want to hear Ara, Vera, Gladwin, and Lucy. All right, Evren.
Okay, and the British people eat their steaks blue, right? Not rare, but they order their steaks like not medium rare, not rare, but blue, as far as I remember. Like
There's no such
bloody.
thing. No, the Brits actually, they eat their steak well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
very
have
rarely that I see people having their steak rare or medium rare.
okay.
It's a
In the
big
ship, I remember.
surprise.
Yeah, some of them were very afraid of having their steaks dry, so they want to have it juicy and bloody sometimes. But I want to ask you another question. Like you worked with people from different cultures. So in my own experience, I found that English people were really very humorous, and I always had fun talking to them. I never got bored, and also Portuguese people were the same for me. So these two nationalities were very fun and very humorous. So for you, which nationality like it was fun to talk with?
Definitely British. They have a very good sense of humor and they can make a joke out of anything. And they know how to be funny without being rude, which I found very fascinating. And even when you have the small talk, you make a little bit of a joke to break the ice. Yeah. So it's often that you start a conversation with a Brit and then they're going to have something funny to say. They always talk about the weather because that's the most fascinating things. 80% of the time it's raining, but they still talk about the weather. So it's really funny. But the other nation I found very funny was actually South African. They just have a very cool, like, I don't know, they just love life. I can talk about Cape Town. I don't know, Gladwin, which side you're from, but in Cape Town, people were just like so much fun and they were joking and they were singing and it was like, I don't even know. It's just very, very funny nation and they can mock themselves as well. So they've got a good humor about themselves at the same time, which I absolutely love. While the Brits are, it's like very polite jokes. South African, they can really go deep, but it's all about, what, I'm like that as well. And it's just super, super cool.
Great. Have to go to South Africa then.
Yes, I can highly recommend that, especially if you like wine. In Cape region, there are loads of amazing vineyards. And
Yeah, I'm a wine lover, so that's a must for me.
All right, thank you. Aura was raised in South Africa.
Yeah, I was raised in Cape Town, so I
Just
get
let's
the
wait a
humor
little bit.
thing.
I think Beata, she has a bad connection at the moment. Oh, really? Everybody can hear me and see me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Yes, I think she's the only one. Oh, what did she say here? Just you. She sent me a message, just you, to the group.
Maybe a lot of rain and connection got lost.
Oh, I think we just missed her. Oh yeah, there she is. She's back.
Hi. I don't know what happened. It just said
no worries.
reconnecting. Connection got lost. So apologies. I don't know what it was. You just disappeared.
Oh, no worries. So Aura is here with a question, and she was raised in South Africa. Aura, please.
Yeah,
Hi.
I was raised in Cape Town, so I get the humor thing because I've also traveled a lot, and I think South Africans have the best sense of humor because we have no filter. Um, but yeah, my question, I don't know if you have children or not, but I'm gonna ask if you have children. Okay.
No, I don't have any. No.
Okay. Then new question. Do you see yourself like, because you've traveled a lot, do you see yourself like using different cultures in your day-to-day life, or like in just like the way that you think and stuff? Like you've picked up things from other places and you just like mush everything together and you've kind of created your own culture, or do you specifically stick to one?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think when you travel, you realize that your culture is who you are in a way. So I'm embracing my own culture even more, but because I live in a different country, I try to bring in the culture that the British people have. So I think in order to live in a community, you have to adapt to the environment. So definitely, I do have some habits that I picked up from the Brits, but definitely I feel that, especially because I work in here, I work for an international company. I don't sell jewelry anymore. I'm training manager for Mercedes-Benz trucks. So loads of different nationalities I'm working with, and often we have talks about how do you do that in your country and how do you do that in your country. So I feel that, yeah, definitely there is influence of even from South Africa and from my cruise ship life, but definitely a lot from the British culture, but I'm embracing mostly being Hungarian and my own culture. I hope that answers the question, Aura.
It did. Thank you. It was very interesting.
That was a great question, Aura. And she's the youngest one here. She's just 18, eh?
Wow.
All right,
All right.
back to João. Yeah, bright girl. João, please go ahead.
Yes, Beata, my next question is, after spending 8 years, as I could notice here, on cruise ship, would you actually recommend somebody starting a career or want to shift career to work on cruise ship?
100% yes.
When it comes,
Yes.
I mean, excuse me, when it comes to like payment and benefits.
Right. Okay. So it depends on what you are used to in terms of financials. I know that 20 years ago, it was much better money. I'm not too sure what it's like nowadays, but from an experience perspective, travel perspective, meeting other people, having that feeling that you are a part of humanity and understanding that you are not alone, even though you are from Angola, you're not alone in your views, in your habits, in your thinking, in your love for music. There are other people from other part of the world who have the same, so you can have that connection. And also when you are on a cruise ship, the skill sets that you are using is so different when you are in an environment that you know. When you are out there in the unknown, you push your boundaries and you get stronger and stronger and more resilient. And I think especially now in the 21st century, being resilient is so important because mental health issues are everywhere in the world. Stress levels are super, super high. So when you work on a cruise ship, you basically, you have to get on and just work and do what your job is. You don't have time to to think about, oh, what is hurting. You just have to go and power through. And Aaron just said in the very beginning, before we started this meeting, we just had a little bit of a chat. He said as well that when you're on the ship, you just you work so hard, but when you come out of it in the real life, the hardest job feels like nothing, because the cruise ship life just gives you that constant work. Back when I was working together with Simone, for example, we worked 12 to 14 hours sometimes, and we were absolutely tired, and there was no weekend, there was no day off. You had to really beg and plead to have the afternoon off when you could go ashore and you could enjoy the port where we docked. So it's 6 months constant work, which is, you when you are there, you don't feel it because everybody's doing it. So it's a very isolated environment, but at the same time, you work together as a big family, and if one is not doing the job right, the other one has to pick up. So you nudge the other one, come on mate, do this or do that, because otherwise I have to pick up your slack. So what I was amazed by, what a giant clock is. Everybody has to work at the same rhythm and do the whole what you need to do constantly every single day with a smile on your face. And I think that is what you learn after that. When you come out, even after one contract, you're like, wow, what I've done is an amazing achievement. And it's just absolutely something that I can highly recommend.
Good. Actually, my following question is, you said that there was necessary to work on your English because you felt in some point that it was not so good, but it was necessary like to polish up your English. So what would you address to like non-native English speakers, the learning English? Is it really necessary to have a great pronunciation, good English? No, bro.
No. Nobody speaks good English on the cruise ship. We all try to do what's best and what we can do, but nobody speaks good English. Well, except the guests who are Americans, and of course they say that is the good English, but living in England now, I know that's the American English. So who speaks the best English? So no, absolutely not. When you are on a cruise ship, the English that you have is all you need. As long as you can understand what other people want from you and you can express yourself, what you would like to do, that is all you need. And the rest of it, you will learn.
Thank you, Beata.
You're welcome.
All right. You see, now someone is going to apply to work on the ship. Yes, one more. I don't think Carlos is going to ask the same question. Okay, but let's hear him out. Carlos.
My question is a curiosity because Beata has a T-shirt. I see only part of the T-shirt. Okay. But what is the message in your T-shirt? Oh, I don't
Nothing.
see.
It's a brand. It's diesel.
Oh, we have it
Okay.
in Brazil as well.
And the Beata has a tattoo here. What's the message in your tattoo?
Okay.
Oh,
So well spotted. So the tattoo
you really
is,
paid attention to that.
yeah, I did. Incredible. The details.
Unbelievable.
So as you can see, it's
Okay.
3 triangles, right? So I love everything that is in threes. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, earth, wind, and fire, past, present, future. But also my sister's got 3 kids and they represent that as well. So everything that's in 3 in life. And of course, I live in a family with three. I've got my fiance, and we got Miso, who is a gorgeous cat. So it's three of us in the family. So yeah, everything that's in threes is what I absolutely love. And that's what it
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. I guess we are finishing because almost 6 in Brazil. I don't know there, maybe midnight.
No, in
it's
England
10
it's
o'clock.
1 hour before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in England it's almost 10, in Belgium almost 11. We still have Aura. Aura, you're back with another question.
Hello. Crap.
You
Oh,
forgot.
brain
Yeah, I forgot my
freeze!
question.
You got a brain
Wait.
freeze, girl.
No, I didn't. Okay, so basically, like I have a lot of like people that I know that have been on that have worked on cruises and stuff, and from what they've told me, was that it was very difficult for them to save money. And I wanted to know like what you thought about that, because like from, let's say, like my biological father, he worked on cruise ships as well, and he said that he was constantly spending his money that he was making, when he was traveling and stuff like that. So, and I wanted to go on cruise ships, but I'm so scared that I'm not going to be able to save money, and I'm going to spend like 10 years on cruise ships and I'm not going to save anything. So I'm asking, like, were you able to save money, and what was your life like after the cruise ship? Like, was it easy to get a job because of what you did there, or did you not save enough money to, then you struggled, or like what was it like?
Good question. Especially from an 18 years old, definitely. It's brilliant that you're thinking of
I
the
think,
future.
Beata, sorry to interrupt, but sorry, guys, this is going to be the last question for sure, because this one's going to need another 5 to 10 minutes. Go ahead, Beata, please.
Sorry.
Right. So the very first contract, I spent all my money because it's a new lifestyle. This is something new. You are in new places. You just want to, oh my God, that's a beautiful pair of shoes in one of the stores, or, oh, I've got so much money in my bank account that I haven't had before, and it's just burning your pocket and you just want to spend it. So my first contract, I saved nothing. And then I went back and I was like, you know what, that's not why I'm away from my family on this cruise ship. It's great to travel, but I'm here for a purpose. And as soon as you realize why you are there and what you want to achieve, you can save money. I bought my very first property from saving money on the cruise ship. So it is possible. It just depends on how much you want to live your life and indulge yourself in amazing food and drinks and cocktails on the beach and shopping, or you rather want to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to be very, very strict and I will save my money because I'm here for a purpose, and the purpose is to start my life and have a basis of my life. So I would definitely say first contract. I don't know about you, Simone, but I could not save a penny on my first contract. Could you?
Yeah, exactly the same. But of course, because of the reason that we had doing the world cruise was very difficult to save. Was of course first time, we just so amazed. So you definitely spend all your money, but afterwards you can, get that check. Oh, it's time to save money, and you're able to. I was able to save the most money in the third contract. So I learned my lesson on the third contract, and then I quit.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so now you can tell Aura about the situation about finding a job afterwards. How was to settle back down? Because it's also not that easy for many people, right?
Yeah. So after my first time when I left the cruise ship and I said, okay, that was it. And I went to South Africa because it was a completely new country. Obviously, it's got more challenges. But when I came to the UK in 2014, and I was working on the cruise ship as a luxury shopping expert selling fine jewelry and watches, it was much easier to find a job on land with that experience. I feel that when you're working on a cruise ship, you still have that good reputation that you can start a role on land because they understand the level of difficulty working as a crew on a cruise ship compared to living somewhere in a country working in a store. That's a completely different variety. Or if you are selling art, or if you are looking after kids, for example, there are kids clubs on cruise ships, and if you do that, or if you're a dancer, definitely I can say 100% that you can find a good job when you come off the cruise ship.
Yeah, it all depends on the position that you have, of course. But I think when it comes to jobs, I think our question, do you know, Beata? Do you remember? Okay, I'm gonna let Aura tell. Aura, tell her how we met. She's gonna know who he is. Tell her.
Okay, my stepfather, Simone knew my stepdad, and his name is Damien Rabaudo.
Do you remember?
Oh my God, yes.
What a small world. Oh my goodness. So I invited him to participate in this program. And he says, oh, 1 hour? Oh, it's going to be so long for me. I don't know if I want to do that, but I have the perfect person for you. So that's how I met her, through him. And of course, you remember him. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Say hello to him from me, please.
I will. I'm sure he'll be
Small
very,
world.
I'm sure he'll remember. I don't know.
I
Of
don't
course
know.
he will remember her, of course. Okay, guys, so with this tone, we're gonna have to finish. We're gonna have to stop this session. It was so delightful, Beata. Thank you so much. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do another hour, no problem whatsoever. The way you speak, the way your energy comes through us, like we don't feel the barrier with the distance or with the screen. It's just like your energy is everywhere and it just touches us. I'm talking about everybody because I'm pretty sure they all felt the same. And I'm so glad you did this for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invite and for being here and for the amazing questions. Really good questions. Thank you so much.
And now that I invited you to become part of the group, I hope to see you next time here with us. And then you can ask the questions yourself.
Yes, I can't wait.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And I see you next week, okay?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.